Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Psychic medium Helene Olson and paranormal researcher Patricia Baker. Here are Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am Helene Olson, and tonight is Saturday, April 13th, 2013. If you would like to call into a question for our wonderful guests, then please call 646-478-0828. That's 646-478-0828. I'm sure our guests would love to field questions from you. And tonight I'm here with my fabulous radio partner, Patricia Baker. Hello, Patricia.
Hello, Helene. This is so exciting to be on the show with you tonight and welcoming two very, very special guests, Betty Andreasson Luca and Bob Luca. This is going to be one heck of a show. I'm just so honored that they wanted to come on our show, so it's going to be a thrilling time.
It will, and you know what's thrilling to me?
Tell me.
We did not get the predicted snow. Today was my happy day, Patricia.
You know, we got it yesterday. It was very depressing. We did get some snow.
You did in Western Mass?
Oh, yeah, but thank goodness it's gone, and I hope it's gone for good. We've had enough of that, really enough of that.
We deserve a springtime, I think. We absolutely do.
You know, it feels like it's just going to go right to summer again. So,
again.
You know, the weather's changing. We got to go with the flow. So anyways, I wanted to share with you and all our audience members the beginning of the story of what happened with Betty Andreasson Luca and Bob Luca. This is the first experience that Betty had, and this took place in the city of South Ashburnham, Massachusetts, on the night of January 25th, 1967. This is the night that one of the most celebrated UFO cases began. And Betty was in the kitchen while her 7 children, mother and father, were in the living room. And then shortly after 6:30, the lights in the house blinked. Immediately after that, a reddish light beamed through the kitchen window, and the sudden darkness in the house set the kids' nerves on edge. Betty ran to comfort them. Her father ran into the kitchen to look out the window and find the source of the light, and to his shock, he saw 5 very strange-looking beings coming toward the house with a hopping motion. So that was the beginning of this case, and we should introduce our guests. I believe they're here waiting for us.
Betty, isn't this the first time she's giving an interview in many years, right?
This is the first time Betty has granted an interview in 15 years.
Wow.
And so that's why we're so honored. As well we
Yes, we are.
But this is the beginning of it. So many years ago, 1967, is when all of this started. And one of the things that Betty is known for is the amount of detail that she's able to report. And also, Betty is a great artist. And all of her drawings, her paintings, my goodness, so much detail, again, in the beings and what they were wearing and the craft, everything. No one has ever been able to duplicate that type of detail that Betty offers.
And one of the drawings, I think, is right on our site at supernaturalsgirls.com, right?
2 drawings are there and a comparison that I know we're all going to be talking about in a little while.
Well, welcome, Betty, and welcome, Bob. You're live on the air with Supernatural
thank
Girls.
you very much.
Thank you for having us on.
Yes. Hello, Patricia.
Hello, Betty. Hello, Bob. It's such a pleasure to be talking to you with our audience tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate coming on. It's been a long time, and I guess it's due.
It's time. It's time to get back and let people know what's been going on. But let's start at the beginning because, again, as I was recounting this first experience, and one of the things that really struck me right from the beginning is that your father saw these beings. He saw them, too. So you were not the only witness to this.
Yes, but he was a little, taken back. He didn't want to get involved because he was retired and he was afraid of what could happen, to lose his retirement or government step in. So
especially back then, yeah.
He didn't want to admit it to me at first. I said, Daddy, but you were there. I know you were there. And he says, I know, Betty, but I don't want to lose my Social Security or anything, Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's something that as you progressed through these experiences and they became public, then other things started to happen with the government. So your father wasn't too far off.
Well, that's true. So, he had a right to say that, but I was kind of taken aback, and I says, Daddy, I need your support there, and you did see them. So he admitted to me then. It was for my own good because I didn't know what I was going through at that time. Everything seemed weird.
And it was.
It sure was.
It was. Now, that first night, I know that the description that I've read and what you've recounted, that the rest of the family was placed in a state of suspended animation.
That's correct.
And then were you taken up in the craft that same night?
Yes, well, what happened was they came in the kitchen, and they came right through the door without opening it. And it really startled me. And, I thought, what are these creatures? They look weird, gray skin and big heads, big, huge eyes. And the thing was, all of a sudden I thought some scripture that said, entertain the stranger, for it may be angels unaware. And I believe in angels. I believe in God with all my heart. And so all of a sudden a peace just came over me, and I felt so much better. And they were talking to me through mental telepathy, which was kind of hard to understand. And I thought they said that they wanted something to eat. And so I went to the refrigerator, got some meat, put it in a frying pan, and I started to fry it on the stove. And smoke was coming up because I was nervous, trying to get this ready for whatever these people were or beings were. And they stepped back in alarm. And they asked me, what was I doing, And I says, I'm cooking food for you. You wanted something tried by fire. And they said, so they said no, that isn't what we needed,
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. What a misunderstanding. Here you are trying to be a gracious host to these creatures that come through your door without opening it.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm. And so anyway, we went into the living room, and I saw my family there, my 7 children, mother, and I didn't really notice my father at that time, and I didn't even know that he had rushed past into the. In our kitchen, we had sort of a pantry area, and he had rushed way to the pantry area and looked out that window and could see the beings hopping down the slight incline, and then they put him out, I guess. And
what's interesting to me too is this hopping motion, because when people see UFOs in the sky, they often describe a similar motion with the ship, that it seems to be hopping through the sky. So it's an interesting thing that your father and you saw these little beings hopping towards the house.
Well, but these beings, how tall were these beings?
Pardon? I didn't hear that very well. It must be the telephone here.
Oh, sorry. How tall were these beings?
They were about 5 feet tall, 4.5 to 5 feet tall, about my height.
Uh-huh. Did you think that they were energetic or in physical form or both?
Well, they had movement, and they did feel and seem physical to me. You know, they moved about as if they were a physical being.
Maybe they were able to change from energetic to physical whenever they felt like it. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, they have the power of invisibility, and the thing is they came right through the door, so they must be able to adjust their physicalness to spiritual power as well.
I see.
Yeah, it does sound that way. Now, did you feel them touch you at any time?
No, what happened was we went into the living room and I saw all the kids sitting there in a state of suspended animation, and they still were asking for knowledge tried by fire. So I reached down for a Bible that was on a side end table and passed it to the leader. And the leader put his hand over it, moved it, and 3 others appeared, or I should say, the 3 appeared, and he passed them to the others, and they just opened and they seemed thicker at that point, and they seemed to be feasting through their eyes the words that were there, and they skipped right through each book.
And you don't sound like you were afraid at all.
Well, I mean, I was just depending upon the Lord Jesus to watch over me and my family. You know, it was odd, and as I said, I thought, well, maybe these are angels unaware, you know, that have come to me.
Wow. I mean, it's a lot of people would have just run screaming into the night with that kind of an encounter, but you kept your wits about you. Mm-hmm. You were trying to communicate with them. You were trying to accommodate them as if they were invited guests.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Well, you know, when you have a large family and everything, you can expect anything, and you've got to be ready.
I know about that, Betty.
Oh, that's funny. Well, and so from there, that was the beginning. That was the first night. But these experiences continued for years, right?
Oh, yes, they did. Well, as you know, Patricia, there are 5 books that have been printed on each experience that I've had, you know, and it's been throughout the years. Yeah.
Yes, there was the Andreasson Affair was the first one, and the second one was the Andreasson Affair Phase 2. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, the Andreasson Legacy, then the Watchers, and the Watchers 2, right?
Excuse me. No, it wasn't the Legacy. It was the Watchers was the third one.
Oh, it was.
And then the Watchers Phase, Watchers 2, and then the Andreasson Legacy.
Oh, that came last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and some of these books are still in print, but I'm hoping that you will be able to get the Andreasson Affair, the original book that was a bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list, reissued, because they're all great books, and I really encourage everybody to go out and buy them, because they are all excellent reading. And also, one of the benefits of your books are your beautiful drawings, the paintings, the things that you brought to life with your artistry, so that people could really see it, not just imagine and try to piece it together from what you were saying, but they can actually see it in the drawings that you put forth in all of those books.
Right. I tried to do it that way. It's easier. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and I think that it did help a lot of people to understand what really happened.
It really did. It helped me to see what you saw. And then you also, I want to mention to the audience, have 3 of your own booklets that you've written, and one of them covers messages, predictions, multi-languages, and hieroglyphics. And I'm going to be posting this in the chat room for everybody, so I will also be putting it, and Colleen and I will put it in the newsletter for next week, so that if people want to purchase these 3 that you've written, they can get them directly from you. And one of them is another one. Here's the second one: Formulas, Writings, Implants, and UFO Craft. Right. And then the third one is, let's see, what do we have here? Number 3 was the Nazca Plane, a mysterious handprint, and the last known encounter that you had.
Right.
So this is all great stuff, and these books are very inexpensive that you've written. They're only $12 a piece, plus shipping and handling.
Booklets. They're booklets. It's a trilogy of booklets, right.
Right. So, yes, I think this is great. I mean, people are so hungry for the truth, and they're hungry for more information about what you've experienced, and they will learn more from all of the booklets that you've written, and also buying the original books that were published and written by Ray Fowler. And also, there's one more book, The Melchizedek Connection. Now, I know that wasn't necessarily about your case. However, you did the drawings for that book also.
Yes, Ray Fowler did that book, and he asked me to please do the drawings for him, and I did.
Yes, excellent. So, again, you're the only abductee that really was putting forth such detailed material. Now, it was years later before you were able to get to all the memories of this, correct?
Yes. Well, I underwent hypnosis, to get the information out. I had the memory of them coming in, the one being in my home, and there was a local newspaper that had Dr. J. Ellen Hynek had written an article asking anybody that had any kind of sighting or anything to do that with so-called UFOs. And so I thought, well, I'm going to draw the picture and, tell him what happened and send it to him, and then it'll be out of my hands because I couldn't figure out why and what happened. And so anyway, I sent that to him. He read the letter. He saw I was genuine with what happened. He filed it away for 2 years. And then a Massachusetts group wanted anything to do with a humanoid UFO being. And they wrote to him, and he sent my letter to them. The next thing I knew, they were calling me and asking me if I would, undergo regressive hypnosis and take lie detector tests and things like that. And I was for it.
And so you took two lie detector tests, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you passed both.
And Becky was there also. She passed too.
And Becky's your daughter, so everybody knows.
Yes, she is.
That she also recounted a similar events, and they were convinced after the investigation that went on for a year that you were reporting exactly what you saw.
Exactly.
Which is amazing. Again, the level of detail in all of these books is remarkable, and it gives the best, just the absolute best in terms of what happened and all the things that you saw. I mean, it's like you saw these other worlds. Like, I'll never forget the one that you saw was made of glass or ice. I mean, you said it was so beautiful you couldn't even put it all on paper.
Exactly. But when you have faith in God and you feel that peace from Him, you know that nothing is going to harm you. You have faith in God to know that He's watching over you, and that's why I just felt these were angels that came in. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened.
See, that's faith. That is faith, real faith.
And then what has happened recently, why I've been gone for about 14 or 15 years, I just felt as if I had to rest. In the beginning, the beings, even though I had gone through other things earlier, I wasn't aware of them all, and the thing was, they didn't want me to know anyway. So they placed an amnesia block on me, so, I wouldn't be frightened, even though, there were strange things I could see were happening. But so that amnesia block allowed me to live sort of a natural life up till then. And then when this came out and other facts came out, and there were more books written by Raymond Fowler because of what happened over the years, well, and then about 14 or 15 years ago, I just thought, I have got to rest. I'm tired from it. I got to get out of this supernatural things happening to me and get into the natural things. I love nature, And that's why I had to start gardens, and my flowers, and plant 12 fruit trees and blueberries and raspberries and strawberries and grapes and blackberries, and then a huge garden.
You're making me hungry.
It just made me feel more down to earth after going through all what I have gone through, because they are strange things that I went through.
Very strange. And, excuse me, it's not only that, and I want to bring Bob into this here because Bob's had his own experiences.
Yes,
and also, you both became aware that you were being shadowed and tracked by some government agencies.
Yes, we were. It was really strange. I think that it would be best that Bob would tell you some of those things that had happened. And
let's get him on and ask him about some of those very nefarious things that were happening to you both.
Right, and it was all over the place, where we lived, where we visited, when we went down to Florida, anywhere we were, it seemed as if there was somebody watching us. But I'll let Bob speak about that.
Yes, let's hear from Bob on this one.
Okay, hold on. Here he is.
Hi.
Hello, Bob. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, for sure.
So we wanted to, I know that you've had, and Helene knows that you've had your own UFO experiences and abduction experiences, and what we've just been bringing to the forefront here is not only did you both go through some very, very strange occurrences with otherworldly beings, but you're also shadowed and tracked by government agents forever. I mean, since all of this became public. And I was wondering if you could share for our audience what that was like. I mean, because not only do you have these strange things going on from extraterrestrials, but now you've got the government also following you wherever you go.
Actually, that's the one part of this whole thing that I kind of miss nowadays, because it was, well, it was...
Really?
It was a challenge, to see what these guys were going to do and what we could do back to them. And it started right around when the first book came out. We were living in Meriden, Connecticut, and all of a sudden we're starting to get these black helicopters over the house, and inside the house a lot of strange occurrences were happening. Lights were turning off and on. The girls had seen a shadow figure. I had chased one down to the basement, and nobody was there when I got there.
Oh, my goodness.
The weirdest thing, one morning we came downstairs, and in the kitchen, you know what crown molding is between the wall and the ceiling?
Yes.
All the crown molding was on the floor. Oh. All the nails were still in the wall.
Oh, my.
And we had a large stainless steel cooking pot for spaghetti. And you know how stainless steel is very tough, and the edge of the pot is rolled, so it's thick on top?
Yes.
That pot was split right down the side from top to bottom.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, what can cause that? I have no clue. But, I mean, that's a couple of little things that happened there. Well, from there, we purchased a home in Cheshire, Connecticut, approximately a year after we had moved into Meriden. The very first thing that happened, the girls got out of school. They went to the house. The phone company was already in there putting our phones in and whatnot. Now, that might not sound unusual, except we were still at the closing and had no keys, and the house was left locked.
Oh, my goodness.
I have no clue what was going on, but I have a good idea. We moved to Cheshire, and within several days, the helicopters started coming over the house in Cheshire. They were all black. They were had no numbers, no ID, no markings. I mean, I viewed them with binoculars, telephoto lens, but then they started coming over so low that I could literally take a baseball and hit them. Would not be a problem.
Wow.
So at the time, I was learning how to fly. So I looked up the regulations. Federal regulations state a helicopter can fly low, but they must be 500 feet laterally from any buildings. And yet these guys came over the top of our house at approximately 150 feet or even less.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, now you've known me for a long time. You know I have a sense of humor.
Oh yes.
I had a friend that was in the military build an exact replica of a surface-to-air missile. And one afternoon we're out, and we hear whop whop whop, the very distinctive rotor noise from a Huey UH-1. So we Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We dragged this thing out back. We set it up on a cement pad, and as the helicopter got where he could see over the roof of the house, that thing banked, so he was almost going sideways and got the heck out of there. So apparently he was able to see what we had. Now I had flown over our house myself, and there's nothing really to see. So what happened was we were in Phoenix, Arizona, doing a lecture, and I was approached by this person that to me was either obviously military or government. He was in his mid-30s, had a buzz haircut, very well dressed, sharp creases in the pants, the buttons on the shirt lined up exactly with the belt buckle. And he said, because I had lectured on the helicopters and shown slides, and he said, look, we're only doing this so we don't have to hurt you. That's what he told me. So I looked at him, I said, well, I guess you're going to have to hurt me. And he turned around and walked away. That ended the conversation. But we had them come, like another occasion, Betty and I were going to Massachusetts. We're on Route 2, which is kind of a rural route.
Yes.
2 black helicopters came off the ground, passed over our car, less than 20 feet above our car.
Oh.
And if you don't think that is intimidating,
yeah, it is.
I have to tell you. On other occasions, we had been followed. And, you might say, well, you're just paranoid. How do you know you were being followed? Well, because I managed to get around back of a few of the cars that were following us. And when I got the license plate numbers, I gave them to Larry Fawcett and another person, police officer that was a friend.
Right. They
ran the plates, and they found out they were unissued. Now, the only people that use unissued plates are government agencies, usually CIA, FBI, or something of that nature. So then it got even more interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Betty and I hate cold weather.
Yes,
you do.
I can verify that. That's absolutely true.
Okay. So one winter night, we decided pretty much in the spur of the moment that it was in the 20s in Connecticut. So we said, the heck with this. About 2 o'clock in the morning, we hooked up our camp trailer, and we took off for Florida. Well, we were gone, I think, 3 days, if I remember correctly. And 2 FBI agents showed up at my job in Middletown, and they wanted to know where I was. Well, I worked with a pretty good bunch of guys, and everybody told them the same thing. I don't know, haven't seen him, hasn't been in, don't know. So when we got back to Connecticut, a few weeks later, we went to the Federal Building in New Haven, and we asked to speak with an agent. Finally, one came out. Now, remember, we just came in off the street.
Right.
And we asked, what do you want with us? And he gave us we can't confirm nor deny that we're looking for you, the old story.
Right,
so I said, look, while we're here, why are you guys tapping our telephone? Now, supposedly, he didn't know us. We just came in off the street.
Right.
And he said, oh, it's not us. He says, in your case, it's Air Force intelligence. But,
oh, my gosh, he told you that.
Yeah, but it gets better. I talked to someone in Air Force intelligence, and they said they can't do that without a court order, and that 90% chance or more it was the FBI.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I had, I had challenged the FBI on television with their own documents, and they didn't like that too much, because I asked them to come on the show with us and discuss not what I said, but their own documents, and they wouldn't do it. So, they broke into our house. Betty and I were both drugged. One night, I woke up, and we had a large Belgian Shepherd. He probably about 110, 115-pound dog.
That's a good-sized dog.
Right. I woke up, and he was next to the bed, and I heard someone talking out in the kitchen. all of a sudden the dog's front legs go out and he flops on the floor.
Oh, no.
Well, he didn't bark. So I heard these two voices. I reached over in my nightstand where I kept the .38, and I was going to go out in the kitchen and challenge whoever was there. Well, next thing I know, boom, it's morning. Betty and I go to work. Remember, I'm left-handed. Betty's right-handed. All day long, my right arm was killing me, painful, and her left arm bothered her all day.
Oh, my.
We get home, and she happened to lean against the door jamb, and hit my arm. She rolls up her sleeve, and there's a puncture mark up just below her shoulder with a big black and blue spot around it.
Oh, my.
On her left arm. I roll up my sleeve. I had the same thing on my right arm. Now, I had just painted that house, trim and all. You could see something was slid inside the front door lock to pop the door open, and that's how they got in. I think probably they may have put gas or something in the house first to bring us down and then gave us a shot once they got in there to keep us out. What they stole was one tape that Betty and I had gotten by accident that was contained a meeting of scientists from around the world. And unfortunately, I've never been able to find that tape again.
What was on the tape? Was it scientists talking about UFOs and ETs?
No, we never got to hear it. I hadn't played the whole thing yet.
Oh.
And that quick, it was gone. And I kicked myself today. But hey, who knows? If we knew everything ahead of time.
Yeah, how were you to know that they were going to be so aggressive and invasive and basically violating your rights as a citizen to come in and basically accost you that way?
If you have knowledge of the UFO phenomena that they don't want out, you have no rights. Let's put it that way. There are no rights.
It does seem that way.
No, they will do with you what they will, and that's that.
Well, I have to commend you both, Bob, because you and Betty have maintained a very positive attitude through all of this. You with your sense of humor, and I know both of you have a strong belief in God and that He keeps you safe, which is wonderful. But I have to say, I don't know if I'd be able to do that in the face of everything. I mean, it's really remarkable.
But some of the things were fun. If you remember back, I can't remember what year it was, but I think we were doing a talk at your home about the and Betty had finished, and I had just started talking about the helicopters, and all of a sudden over the house, you remember the whop 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 whop?
Oh yes.
It was so low that it was shaking the windows in your house.
I remember that. I remember within 3 days of being asked to meet you and to work with the investigators on the case, there were black helicopters over my house in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and they were flying so low that the backwash was bending the trees.
Exactly.
So yes, I will back up everything you say. I saw it with my own eyes, and it's horrifying to me that, if the United States citizen undergoes an experience like this, they should be allowed to express this experience, get some answers if the government has any, rather than being subjected to this type of terrible treatment, in my opinion. I'm appalled.
Well, I was blaming the government for a long time, the government proper.
Uh-huh.
But you have to look into a little different aspect. Years ago, when Bill Clinton was president, he was asked by his press secretary about disclosure of the UFO phenomena.
Yes.
And he told her, and this is documented, he said, there is a shadow government, and I do not control that. Now, that was Bill Clinton's own statement.
Okay.
It's part of the industrial military complex, and that, I think, is where the threat came from. Because out of all the Freedom of Information Acts I filed and all, you really don't get a lot of real meaty stuff because the good stuff has been passed along to industry because industry does not have to respond to Freedom of Information requests.
Oh, very interesting there. Okay.
Makes a big difference.
So they can just shuffle this information along to industry. Right. Industry can back engineer whatever they want. Huh.
Absolutely. But I'm sure there are agreements made regarding the financial gains from it.
Right.
Now, also...
Right now, Bob, I'd love you to continue this incredibly fascinating discussion because it's just so informative and it really is making my skin crawl a little bit, I have to tell you. It's so shocking in a way. It is shocking. But right now we are going to take a break, and we have a surprise caller waiting online to come on air with us right after our break. I hope everyone will stay tuned. Because we'll be offering free access to your energy alignment on Monday evening. So stay tuned during the break for that information for yourself.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Sometimes life can be a challenge. Would you like insight and guidance to help you make the best choices right now? Contact Helene at angelslighthouse.com to make your personal appointment for a psychic reading or energy alignment. Helene is a direct channel to the angelic realm and is remarkably capable of connecting to the living as well as to your loved ones on the other side. Helene is available to clients all over the world via phone or Skype, and it's simple to set up a group reading anywhere. Visit angelslighthouse.com, where you'll find an easy way to schedule right online. And while you're there, sign up for the Angels Lighthouse newsletter and receive information on all the free energy circles, giveaways, and jewelry with a message. Visit angelslighthouse.com and contact Helene today.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this fascinating show this evening with Betty and Bob Luca. I'd like all of you to take a look at angelslighthouse.com, and right there on the home page, you'll find the very simple instructions to join my free energy alignment circle this Monday evening, April 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is call in from the comfort of your own phone and join our circle. And what happens there is a guided meditation, and I channel energy from divine realms. There is also space for each of you to receive personal messages, and often beings of light, angels, ascended masters, and guides come through and channel messages directly to you. So I hope you can join us this Monday. You'll find the directions right on the home page at angelslighthouse.com. Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to all of our listening audience who would like to add a question or a comment for Betty and Bob. You can call in at 646-478-0828. And right now we're going to continue with this fascinating discussion, but I'd like to welcome Robert Bingham live on the air tonight. Hello, Robert.
Hi, this is Pat. Hi, Pat.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Thanks so
Arlene.
much for calling.
Sorry. Thank you for inviting me also to call. I was listening to Bob Luca's discussion on how the FBI, what the things they did to him. I just wanted to add that when the day I released this new video I just released, I got a phone call from somebody that said they were the FBI and they were going to get me.
Oh,
I didn't know whether. Yeah, that's. And I don't know if it was a prank call or if it was real. But,
Robert,
yes.
This is Colleen. I'm getting that as a prank.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought it was a prank, but it didn't make me any happier that day.
No, and it wouldn't. And I think probably, Bob, you would know if the FBI was going to stop following Robert because of all of his craft summonings and all of that they would be sort of hanging around in the periphery instead of calling up and making a threat like that, right?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he is being watched. However, they wouldn't come out and outright call and say that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And also the phone number showed up on my phone.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They are watching you. You can guarantee that. But no, they wouldn't do something like that. I
didn't think so.
Don't let it bother you. You're going to run into some kooks. We had death threats and all kinds of stuff, but you just take it with a grain of salt.
Right. I've learned to live with this since I've been doing this for quite a long time. And I just try to carry on like a normal person.
Sure, you just do what you got to do, and you ignore the. There's some people out there that genuinely can't believe it because they haven't experienced it, but then you got the other type that are just plain pumping out disinformation, and it makes it difficult for the people that are trying to get the truth out.
Right. And it does become hard. Well, it's hard. It becomes more difficult to navigate those waters.
Sure.
Like you said, get the truth out.
Just be careful wherever you go or whatever you do, and you'll be all right. The last thing they want to do, if you're in the public eye, they don't want to hurt you because people are going to start looking at them. So
right.
Just keep in the public eye, and you'll be okay.
I am having event. I'm having an event tomorrow at the Park Plaza home base.
I have a friend in California that should be going out there to see you.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for calling in. And if anybody wants to go to that Park Plaza event, I'm sure you have it on your website, which is robertbingham.org. And people can look it up there and then come out to sunny, beautiful California and watch what you do as a UFO summoner.
Oh, thank you very much. And Bob, thank you for giving me a heads up on the things to look out for.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Keep doing what you're doing. People need to see it.
Oh, I will do it. Look forward to meeting all of you one day and doing another show.
That will be fun.
Well, thank you guys, and I'll be listening to the rest of the show.
Okay, thank you.
Now.
Thank you, Robert.
So much, Robert.
Thank you.
There's one thing I'd like to add to what I said before.
Yes, please.
I don't want to give people the wrong idea that all the government is bad. There are people, from my understanding, both in the Pentagon and in the Navy, that do want to make disclosure happen. I mean, it's not the whole government, So I don't want to give people the wrong idea. It is a core of people that are in control, that are keeping this stuff. And the reason, I hate to say it, but the reason is money. There are 5,000 patents that have been suppressed for national security. There are methods of producing electricity that do not require nuclear plants or oil. If these things come out to the public and we start to utilize them, all that oil money is going to be taken away from everyone, from the people in industry to the politicians that like to have their pockets filled by these people.
Right.
So,
well, it makes sense what you're saying, yes.
Yeah, I could go on and on about that, but I mean, it's the reason is money and power, because the people in power, obviously, when a superior technology comes along, you're going to look to those people for the cures for cancer, for clean energy, for things like that. But I think Dr. Greer has really got a good heads up and a lot of information regarding this. Now, I'm looking forward to see his movie when it comes out.
Yes, I know we are too. And what we're especially interested in is the comparison between the photos that he has published about these little alien bodies that were discovered in Russia and in South America, and then comparing that to Betty's drawings from so many years ago. They're an exact match.
Yeah, right. That's it's confirmation both for Betty and for Dr. Greer. If it turns out in the final analysis that they are actually not human in any way, I mean, that's confirmation for both of them.
It really is, and it is remarkable that they are just an exact copy of each other, and they came from two completely different sources. And I'm sure for Betty that is a very heartening thing after all these years, telling her truth and having some people believe and some people not.
Exactly. There's something that she wants to add on now. Hold on for a second. I'll hand the phone over.
We're changing the phone back and forth, so I don't know exactly what you said.
You were talking about comparing your pictures to Dr. Greer's and how they're exact copies.
That's what I wanted to say. I was so excited. I was jumping up and down to finally have somebody get evidence of the little ones that are there. Like I was telling you this afternoon, too, that on the last experience that we've had, the little ones were involved there as well. And I called them taddlings because they were, fooling with Bob's and my feet, and they pulled my shirt tail while I was at the sink, and doing things like that, and I heard and saw what he has. It just made me feel so happy over it. As I was saying, also my daughter Becky was telling me she had my granddaughters also had experiences with those little ones. They evidently are very mischievous because they were pulling on their feet and their hair and pulling on the blankets. And Becky had caught them a couple of times where it seemed like she couldn't see the whole farm, but they would run into the closet and then disappear. They have the power of invisibility, and that's why it's kind of hard to see them at times.
Now, this is an interesting experience with these little creatures running around, kind of creating mischief, but they seem so harmless and just like they were trying to learn things and have fun at the same time. I mean, they never hurt anyone, right?
Exactly. No, they didn't seem as if it seems as if they're so very young that they're mischievous at what they're doing, or just playing or trying to learn what's going on. Like in the 1973 one, I also experienced them in a forest aboard a craft. They had like a place where it had trees and grass and everything, and I was placed there for a while, and they came out, and they were really amazed over people, I guess, because they were touching my knee and my leg, wondering what I am or how come I'm so big or whatever. But, it's real interesting to have that information come out because it made me feel so much better. I wondered for years, what are these little ones doing there,
Oh, yes.
Now, Betty, these smaller beings, Now, he has the bodies of them, so when he found them deceased, they were in physical form. But do you believe that they're aliens from another planet, or they're interdimensional beings?
I think they're interdimensional, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you able to receive any telepathic information from them, or questions, or any kind of reason why they were here at this time?
I think they're just learning. It's a learning process for them. And in my last experience, and that's in one of the small booklets, well, the thing was they were in the fifth wheel where we were staying, and they would jump down off the stairs down into the kitchen and to get away, and then evidently they have that power of invisibility somehow, and I didn't see them, but then I had an experience, and I saw them again in the room where I was taken. But they at one time were fooling with, as I said before, our feet while we were in bed, and also pulling on my shirt tail. Also, my cat didn't dare to come in the fifth wheel because of evidently because of them.
Oh, my.
I see.
What's interesting too?
Go ahead.
What's interesting too is my daughter was telling me that there was a young man in Africa. His name is Wayne Herschel, and he's been writing stories and books on research on a lot of this. And she happened to look at some of his work, and he was saying about the little ones that Da Vinci drew pictures in Rome on the ceiling showing little baby angels like with wings, and he was calling them cherubims. So if that's what they are, I don't know. It was, and why Da Vinci was doing that, he had to hide his knowledge of those beings, I think. A lot of times artists will hide that information, rather than come right out, because they could really be damaged or hurt some way from it.
Right. Can you, now, let me ask you this. Before you had your very first incident in 1967 of this visitation, did you have any other connection with spiritual or interdimensional beings at all?
Well, I studied the Word of God quite a bit. I've done the Book of Revelation. I've done in pictorial form, and that was when I was in my mid-20s, early 30s, and I did a whole pictorial book on that, and I've gone to churches and shown them on slides and everything. They were amazed. There was ministers that were visiting my home asking me questions of it, and it was through the Word of God that I understood what was being said in the Book of Revelation.
Okay, but I'm saying you hadn't seen any aliens or shadow figures or anything like that before this first visit in 1967? Well,
I was always out in the woods and everything, and there was some things that were peculiar, but like there was one time that I when we moved to Westminster, there was an old shed in the a property that my parents had bought, and in the shed was some traps. And I was like a tomboy. I was always out in the woods. As soon as I'd get home from school, I was out in the woods, and take my dog with me, and out I would go. Well, there were some traps in this shed, and I took them, and I guess I thought I was a great hunter or something or other, but I would hunt out where there's holes in the ground in the woods and everything, and I found one underneath some mountain laurel, and I put the trap there. Well, then, I set it up, and then I went home, of course, and a couple of days later, I went out there again to check that trap, and when I did have an experience where a being came out of that hole, and this was when, I think it was 1949, if I'm right, and the thing is the being told me, why are you trapping animals. You know, it made me feel really bad about it. You know, and so anyway, then he touched something on his chest. He had buttons all the way on both sides of his chest. He touched one of the buttons, and a light shot out at me, and it hit me in the forehead. Now, this had happened to me in also in Leominster, Massachusetts, as a child of 7 years old. But I'll tell you what that was about after. But this, when he hit the light hit me in between the eyes, I fell down back on the ground, and I could hear them talking about me, you know, and wondering what was going to go on. And I heard something, it's another year. She's got another year. And so anyways, after that, I was fine. I got up and took my trap and went home. But then after that, in 1950, a year later, I had another experience. And but I'll go back to when I was 7 years old, about the light hitting me in the forehead. I lived in Leominster, Massachusetts, and I was waiting for my girlfriend Dee Dee to come across the street to play dolls with me. And it was around lunchtime, so I had brought some crackers down into a little shed that my older brother had made, and I was waiting for her to come with her doll to play. And when I was sitting there eating the cracker, all of a sudden something buzzed into the shed, the little house there that my brother Wayne had made, and it buzzed around my head and buzzed around, and it hit me in the forehead. And again, a bright light, and I went down, and I was kind of out. And I heard voices talking, and I heard them say, the wee little one is coming along fine. So, and then after that, I awoke, and Dee Dee came over with her dolls, and I was crying, and I said, a bee bit me right on the forehead, and she was feeling to see if there was any mark. There was nothing there. So that was an experience, a beginning of the experience at 7 years old. Went on to 12 years old, and then 13.
Wow. Do you have any hypothesis at all why these gray beings would come to visit you? I mean, why would they pick you or anybody? I mean, why would they pick anybody? Do you have any insight on that?
I think they are trying to show themselves. I think they're trying to help mankind along, you know, in a better way to live, understand more. I know I've received through telepathy all these different writings, and some of those are in the first little booklet, and I have a lot more that was packed away. But the thing is very often when I was receiving messages from them, the helicopter would come over, and it was almost like they were trying to track where I was getting the information from, and it would shut right off then. So, yeah, wow. I don't know what that was, but they did that quite often.
I'm
also
wondering if they could feel the energy of the transmission.
That's very possible. But I have a lot of writings. I don't understand them. I mean, you know, I wrote them down. I wrote them every time they'd come. I would write them quick on scraps of paper, a paper towel, a tissue, anything that was handy, so I would get it right down right at that moment what I was hearing and seeing.
Gosh, this is much larger, Helene, than even you or I knew, huh? Starting with Betty being so young.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, I guess, you know, there have been hundreds of abductee cases, and yours is obviously legendary and was extremely public and had a best-selling book, and I'm just trying to know, because the thing is that I'm a little bit afraid of aliens, Betty. And
no, you believe in, Helene, you believe in God. You're safe.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah, you know He's protecting you. The Creator is so large. A lot of people think that, well, He's in heaven. Now, for us, we look at heaven just, above our heads a little bit. But if you really see who the Creator is that knows all, He's way above everything, and He loves every one of us. Every one of us He has a plan for. And the thing is, not to fear, because if things are to happen to you, it's because God has wanted that to happen, even though sometimes they don't seem as if it's the right thing that should be happening. Everything has to work together to God's plan.
Well, that's true. And so what I'm trying to do is gain a little bit of insight as to why some people, like yourself, receive these visits and others don't. Is it because it was in your plan, or is it because you already were so connected to God that they felt your energy? I mean,
well, not at 7 years old. I wasn't connected to God. It wasn't until I was 16 that I really got going to church and reading the Word of God. So that at 16, But I'm sure that the Father knew me way back when I was first born. Every one of us, He does. He loves each and every one one of us.
And this is such a beautiful message, Betty. This is why I have to, again, thank you and Bob for, I know you had to take your break of 15 years, but I'm really glad that you're stepping forward again, because you both have a really beautiful message of hope and love and the greater plan and the greater good. It's so comforting in these trying times to hear from both you and Bob. So, again, I can't thank you enough for your message, for coming forward out of your retirement, so to speak, to speak with people. I mean, people need to hear this.
As I told you, it's been 14, actually since the last time, 1973, it's been 40 years since I saw decided to come back in, and it was because of what Greer had put out there that made me say, okay, I've got to go back. Plus, I had a prophetic dream. I've had a lot of prophetic dreams, and one of them I told you recently that really has made me realize, well, I guess I have to do it, and I'll tell you if you want the dream. Maybe Helene will want to hear it because I told you about it, if she's interested.
Sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Well, what happened was, the thing was, I was sitting beside this beautiful blue water, and there were thousands of fish of all, like gold and silver and white and peach color fish in the water, and they were only about 4 inches long. And the thing is, I'm looking down in the water at them, and I could see they had the two side fins and then the top fin there on the fish. However, there was no tail. There was no tail to it all, and it was just all of the fish were staying still. All thousands of them were there. And I looked down and I thought, oh, the fish doesn't have a tail. They need a tail. And I thought, God, they need a tail. And suddenly I was given living tails right there to me. And I took them and I took one of the living tails and I thought, I'm going to see if I can somehow put the tail on these fish. So I plunged my hand and arm into the water with the living tail, put it close to the small fish, and it swooped onto the fish, and the fish then swam off, and another one moved into place. So I just kept on all night long. I kept on picking up these living tails, putting them on the fish, and the fish received direction then. Without that the tail, there's no direction. It's just standing still. So then after that, and I wasn't tired. A lot of times I get tired at my age now. I feel tired off and on. But the thing is I wasn't tired, so I realized, well, then for God to have given me those living tails, then something I have to still do, at the end, because there's the tail is the end. And I know it's something with God because of the fish is a sign of Christ, and here was this living tail on it. So there's some direction, something I'm going to be used for by the Holy Spirit in order to help people. And that's what I felt from the prophetic dream. Then, it was a short time after, I heard of a movie going to be made of a huge fish that had an accident or something, and it had no tail. And a man had to build or make a tail for the fish. And so I wondered...
Which movie you're talking about, yeah.
I have not seen it. I don't know what it's all about. I just heard that it was there. And I wondered in my mind, well, now, what does this mean, Lord, that, the fish had a artificial tail made by man? Well, it seems like a lot of people are being led astray, and that's where they're losing their direction. They're losing their tail. But a big fish, meaning a lot of people are in that one big fish that lost the tail. And it will be man that comes and builds an artificial tail for that fish so it can move or live. But it won't be the real thing that those people are looking for.
Well, your dream, Betty, is just beautiful, and it's very striking, and that I believe it is exactly what you think, which is calling you forward to offer something more at this point in time, which we all need a little direction right now.
Yes,
it's going
we sure
a little
do.
crazy. So it's a beautiful dream, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Well, that's what happened, and so I felt, well, I guess it's getting time. It's been a year or so, and I felt, well, I guess it's getting time. I'll be getting back in the public eye for something that I have to do, for others. So, there was a lot more of the different things that Bob was talking about, what happened to us. I have a few written down here if you'd want to hear them.
Can we hear them after the break, Betty?
Sure, we can.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time to take a break, and I hope that you all stay with us listening to this fascinating story from Betty and Bob Luca. Besides that, we have a couple callers waiting on the line, so if you don't mind, we'll take their questions as well.
Okay.
Stay with us. Stay tuned so that you can hear about the discount being offered during the break. We'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Helene Olson, psychic medium and spiritual intuitive, and also co-host of this show, Supernatural Girls Radio. And in honor of our new show, I'm offering you an exclusive 20% discount for any reading or energy work that you schedule during the month of April. Please take a look at my website at angelslighthouse.com and click on the Services tab. You can use the convenient online scheduler or send me an email. Be sure to mention your Supernatural Girls 20% discount. Next week, during the breaks, I will be offering my inside tips so that you can feel better in these challenging times. Thank you for being part of the Supernatural Girls family, and I'll see you at angelslighthouse.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Hi, this is Helene Olson. I hope you'll all take a look at angelslighthouse.com. This Monday, April 15th at 9 p.m., I'm offering a free energy alignment. You can access this circle directly from the comfort of your own phone. All of the directions are right on the home page for angelslighthouse.com. We will be channeling energy, hearing messages from guides and angels, and also have a space to hear your own personal messages. I hope to see you on Monday. Stay tuned. And we're back. Thank you to our listening audience for staying tuned to Supernatural Girlz. Please go over to the website at supernaturalgirls.com and sign up for our fascinating weekly newsletter. You can also still call in at 646-478-0828 to ask Betty and Bob a question. Right now, ladies, we have a couple of people on the line who would like to ask questions. Should we take a call?
Yes, let's take a call.
Okay, so this is Richard from St. Louis. Richard, you're here.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Richard.
I'm calling with a question for Betty.
Yes.
It comes from the book Watchers 2 on page 193, where Ray Fowler quotes you, Betty, as saying the tall person with white hair said that they were ambassadors of the O. Mm-hmm. And that you asked them if they knew who Jesus was. I wondered if you'd comment on that.
Well, I haven't read a lot of back and that. As I said, I've been away from 15 years from a lot of what happened to me. I do remember a lot, but I'm 76 years old now, and at times I do not remember everything. So...
It sounds like a question that, Betty, if I may say, that you would ask because of your firm belief, and you would probably ask that question wanting to know if that being shares the same faith and belief that you do. Would that be accurate?
Yes, it would. They would share the same faith as I would, most definitely.
You'd want to know that, right?
Well, I'm in the book. You said that they said he was the hypostasis, and that neither you nor Ray Fowler knew what the word meant. I thought that was.
I didn't know what the word meant. That's right.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite charming on the one hand, and quite telling on the other. That the entire public is able to read that testimony to Jesus. It actually means that Jesus Christ is the embodiment of God in the flesh.
That's right. I did look that up after because I didn't understand exactly what that meant.
Right.
Interesting.
Thank you for reminding me of that. That's great.
Okay.
I'm so glad and that the messages are getting to different individuals and they're being helpful to you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for taking time to call, Richard. Thank you,
yeah,
Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Great question, and thank you so much.
Okay.
But I didn't know what that word actually meant at the time.
I didn't know what it meant until you said it.
Right.
It was beyond my capabilities here. So, yeah, very interesting.
They said a lot of different words that I could not understand what they were talking about. Even about the little ones, where what happens when they were taking some of the fetuses. They were talking about what happens and everything. And they used words I just don't understand, and I couldn't even repeat half of what was being said.
Well, thank goodness you can draw.
Yes, you can. What was your comment about fetuses?
There was in the let's see, I think it was in 1973, and the thing was is they were talking about the fetus that what happens to it or something or other.
Well, it's growing.
And I just didn't understand. I couldn't even get out what they were trying to tell me. There was some of the things that did get out, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, of all so much is going on, and so much of it had scientific aspects to it, and if you don't have that kind of background,
Which I don't.
It's difficult. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't know what they were talking about. So they had a lot of information, but unless you have that training, it would be difficult to discern what this all meant.
Right. I would like it if, I think it was on 124 of, I think it was the Watchers that they were talking about that, and I tried to even still understand it, and I couldn't. In case someone was to ask.
Well, would you mind if we took another call at this point?
That would be fine, thank you.
Okay, let's talk to Paul from California. Paul, are you from California or Canada?
Oh, I'm from California.
Well, hello, Paul.
Hi.
Hey,
do you have a question for Betty tonight? Good.
Well, not necessarily a question. I just kind of wanted to relay a story to you all, just kind of similar to what you were talking about earlier about aliens. Well, I'm actually from Oklahoma. I'm from Ada, Oklahoma. Do you all know where that's at?
Never heard of Ada, but I've heard of Oklahoma, but not the town you just mentioned.
Oh.
Yeah, just kind of a little small town in the middle of nowhere, essentially. And it was kind of weird because it was like out at night, and just like this brilliant flash of light hit me.
Oh, I think we lost Paul.
Yep, Paul's gone.
Sorry
There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of that happening, even with us, where bright white lights just come on, and you don't know what it's from. When we first moved here in Virginia, the thing was we tore up the rugs of the house, and there was wood floors, and we wanted to have it sanded and everything, and we hadn't completely moved in. Bob and I had a mattress just in the office here, laying down for night, and all of a sudden I woke up because the alarm went off in the hall. It was screeching, really, really loud, and the brightest light I have ever seen, if you were looking up at the sun, was streaming down the hallway from outdoors down the hallway toward us, and it had set that alarm off. And we were both astounded from it. We've also had lights just appear where we are. Just recently, Bob had one in the bedroom. Unfortunately, I was tired. I turned my head, and I had my eyes closed and kind of tucked in the pillow, so I didn't see it at the time. But we have like flashes of light and sometimes tiny balls of light. Strange things happening still here where I think I ought to let Bob tell you about the clocks and other things.
Yes, please have Bob tell us about the clock, because that's fascinating.
Okay, hold on one moment. Here he is.
Hi, who am I talking to?
You're talking to all of us. We
Oh,
want to
okay.
hear about the clock because I remember this one. This is a great story.
Oh, yeah, I videotaped.
Yeah, I just interject for 1 minute. I'm sorry that we lost Paul, and he's welcome to call back in if he'd like to, but that was too bad. The call just dropped. So, yeah, sorry about that, Paul. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the clock, Bob.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob. You can tell your clock story now.
Okay, we have 3 big clocks in the house here. Okay, 2 of them are atomic clocks. I went down to work out. I have a workout room in the basement, and the clock is spinning like a top. So atomic clocks will spin until they get to the right time, and then they stop. Well, I watched this for about 4 minutes or so, and it never stopped. So I got the video camera, went down and taped it, took it down, put new batteries in it, reset it, it started spinning again within a minute or 2. A few days later, the one upstairs in my office, which already had new batteries, started doing the same thing. Now, out of the 3 clocks we have, rarely do they all have the same time. Even the 2 atomic ones don't always match, and they're supposed to. So some kind of energy or something is apparently in the house because we have unusual problems with electrical devices. And what Betty was talking about the other night, the whole room lit up. If you compare it to the sun is actually a little bit yellowish. This is like pure LED white light, only much brighter, like somebody set off a flash on a camera, but much, much brighter. And the purest white that I have ever seen in my life.
Oh,
and
my.
This has happened a number of times. Why? Who knows? We've had other things happen. For instance, in Florida, we had driven to Florida. We were going to visit Betty's sister, and I usually made the run straight through from Connecticut to Pompano Beach. Mm-hmm. Well, this particular time we ran into traffic and delays and construction, so by the time we got to Lake Worth, I was just totally beat. So I knew there was a campground on Lake Worth Road. We pulled into the campground. We had a hatchback car with fold-down seats. I figured we'd get a good night's sleep, get a shower in the morning, and go. Well, we pulled into the campground. I went in to pay for the lot, and there were 2 people talking about a UFO sighting the night before in the area of the campground.
Oh, my.
But by now, I'm beat. I didn't want to get involved in the conversation, so I just paid for the room, parked the car, and in Florida, all the roadways in the campground run either north, south, or east and west, like a grid. The car was parked, and the compass read due north. Okay, we parked the car. We're getting ready to go to sleep. All of a sudden, through the door, and I mean through the door, it was not open, comes this multifaceted, multicolored ball the size of a baseball. And it literally floated slowly through the car from one side right across and out the passenger door. So Betty and I thought, boy, it's a little weird, but, we're tired. We go to sleep. I hear a noise a little after midnight. And I look out behind the car, and a big black Cadillac had pulled in behind us, and it was parked at almost a 45-degree angle. And I thought, boy, these people must have snuck in. They probably want to beat the campground out of their fee. Didn't think anything of it, went to sleep, woke up again about 3 o'clock, had to use the restroom. So I go out to the restroom. I lock the door after me because Betty was in the car. When I come back, I notice this Cadillac is a 4-door sedan. It's got New York plates. And all of a sudden, when I got next to it, all 4 doors opened exactly at the same second. It was like one door opening.
Oh, my goodness. Now, you mean it unlocked or it actually opened, all those doors?
No, people in the car opened the door and got out. These guys, there was 4 guys. They were all Asian looking. They had on black suits, white shirt, black tie, and those little fedora hats, the typical men in black.
Oh, my goodness.
And I really, it was almost comical. These guys were so thin and frail looking. I didn't feel any fear at all from him. I thought I could knock him over with a fly swatter. I'm serious. I mean, I felt no fear at all or not threatened from him. But what was crazy, the two guys on the driver's side walked around the car to the passenger side. The two guys on the passenger side walked around to the driver's side. They were looking at me, and I was looking at them. They got in the car, and they shut all four doors again as one door, one noise, perfectly timed. Okay, we get up in the morning. Now it's getting strange. The digital clock, which was set right by the radio the night before, is now off by 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes fast.
Oh, my.
That is not supposed to be able to happen. The compass, which was pointing due north the night before, or magnetic north, was now pointing almost east. That's almost 90 degrees difference in the compass reading. When I went around the car with a handheld compass, it pointed toward the car, as it should, a metal object, except when I got right to that spot where that ball came through the door, even as far away as 5 feet from the car, it would spin the compass. So I talked to two electrical engineers, and they said that is physically impossible for a digital to jump ahead 20 minutes, and the only thing they could think of was a possible electromagnetic pulse of some kind. So that was just another unusual electrical phenomena that we had experienced.
And these men in black. I mean, Helene, what do you pick up on these men in black that Bob's describing?
Well, they're not real. I'm picking them up as energetic forms somehow. Now, were they there in the morning? They were gone.
Oh, no, they were gone when we woke up. We woke up just about when it was getting light and the car was gone. And these have been experienced.
That's so bizarre. I'm not even getting them as human, to be honest with you, Bob.
I believe it because they were so, they look like skeletons with suits on, really. Really,
creepy.
Really thin. Well, like I said, it didn't bother me because they looked like a good wind would have probably taken them away. That was just one more electrical thing.
Oh, my. I mean, I keep saying, oh, my, because, everything that you both have experienced is just amazing, and that you keep your sanity amidst all of this, and that you don't turn totally paranoid with these energetic balls of light and these men in black following you into your campground, no less. Well, I mean, but that's so strange, the way they all open the door at the same time and close the door at the same time.
It depends on your attitude. Personally, I look at it as kind of fun. It's different. It's interesting.
Well, I had also, Bob, an atomic clock experience.
Oh, really?
It wasn't, and it was in a place in my home where I was connecting with angelic energy all the time, and the energy would come into the house, so they'd sort of appear to me, not in solid form, but in energetic form. And one time, the atomic clock started spinning the way you're saying, and it just spin and wouldn't stop. So I took the batteries out of it, got new batteries, put them back in, and the same phenomenon kept happening. And then at one point, I took the batteries out, and the clock was still spinning. So I got a little freaked, and I just threw the whole clock away.
Well, that's the electrical energy field.
I just couldn't more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the electrical energy field that these things, whatever they are from time to time, seem apparently to give up. That's why, the ghost hunters pick up things with the EMF meters and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. All I know is some sort of energy because you can actually see it on the meters. Another thing I wanted to bring up too before I forget. A lot of people are putting out this thing that you have to be fearful and it was a terrible experience and all. What my experience has been is that fear lies within the mind of the person.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes, that's so true.
In 1967, they put me on a table and I was stuck there, and I don't like being restrained. And I was scared. I'll be the first one to admit it. But then they gave off this peaceful aura.
So this was your abduction experience when you were on the table you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, and it settled me down. And if you think about it, if I had my choice of I don't know, another abduction or going to the dentist for a root canal, I think I'd rather take the abduction. That's just the way I look at it. It's a lot more fun.
I'm with you, Bob, totally.
Yeah. Dental stuff is scary to me, too, but you're absolutely right about fear. Because years ago, I was afraid of everything that approached me, and then at one point they brought me to this total epiphany of being fear-free. And really what it gave me was a whole load of freedom. I haven't been afraid for years, and I'm not anymore. But I have to say that, you know, the whole alien connection or the gray connection is something that I choose not to connect with. They're around. I see them, and I've seen them with people, and they're definitely around. I cannot believe that every culture of those grays is actually good culture, though. That's one thing.
No.
So,
yeah. Betty was told that by them that there were approximately 70 various races visiting, and that one was detrimental to man. That's what she was told back in the 60s, I guess. And, you know, that seems to be the case, but for the most part, everyone I've talked to that's had an abduction experience or whatever, I mean, they all look normal and healthy to me now, so apparently it wasn't anything terrible that was done to them, outside of what their own mind let them believe.
That's right. That's a good point.
You were abducted. Yeah, it is a good point. Yeah. Well, when you were abducted, did you feel that you were physically taken from this planet, or did you feel that your energy was taken from the planet?
In 1967, I felt like it was physical. I was pulled right out of my car, and like I said, it's you know, you're bound to be frightened at first because it's the unknown. You know, it's something you don't often run into. But another thing that's interesting in my case, Betty's and several others I've looked into, it seems like there's always 5 of them. I don't know what significance there is there. And another thing, when a lot of weird things happen, was exactly at 3 a.m., 3 o'clock in the morning, we had a lot of strange experiences. It got so that
Yeah, everybody reports that 3 a.m. connection. And it's even happened with me, too. And I don't know if it's that the vibration around us is so reduced as far as electronics, trucks, you know, anything that could possibly be on, that the veil is just that much thinner and helps them get through. I'm not really sure. But 3 a.m. is a big theme, really big.
Well, for years, in fact, even today, I probably shouldn't say this on the air. People think I'm nuts, but I don't care. I see things. I see things from time to time. I see things that are not there, and I have driven the doctors nuts. I didn't want to tell my doctor that for a couple of years, and I finally said the heck. So I went and I got a brain scan and all that, and believe it or not, they found me pretty much normal. But it's not like a hallucination, and I can be wide awake and see anything from a person, a machine, objects that I don't even know what they are, but I see them just as clearly as I would see you if I was sitting next to you. And the eye doctor went nuts. My physicians, they finally just gave up. Said, look, he said, all right, you got something going on here. It's not harmful. Don't worry about it.
Well, I think when you're saying that you're seeing it in front of you. Is that correct?
Well, sometimes it's in front of me. Sometimes it can be next to me. Sometimes it can be floating up by the ceiling. There's no particular one location.
Okay, but what I mean is you're seeing it in the room as opposed to seeing it in your mind, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, but that if you're seeing it and other people are not necessarily seeing it, that's actually a third eye projection.
Oh wow.
So in other words,
you're the first one that told me that.
Okay, so when my third eye opens like a movie screen, it's like having another eyeball that's viewing something on a screen in my head. But some people are able to see those images or objects in front of them.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm not nuts.
No, sounds like you have an awakening, similar to what Helene you had. Would you say?
I don't know if you'd call that awakening. I don't know. I mean, I think awakening is defined in several ways. One of the ways is a spiritual awakening to God. But when you're talking about sort of a higher consciousness awakening where your third eye works, yes, it is an awakening, but the way I'm getting this, Bob, is this has been going on with you for years.
Right.
And also that the images and objects that you're seeing are actually random visuals from around the planet, around the universe, and it's a little bit disconcerting because you're seeing it in the room instead of in your movie screen in your third eye. You know what I mean? So
I see. Yeah. Because I have seen machines that I have no idea or no clue what they are, and it just leaves me wondering what the heck was that. But again, I look at it as, hey, it's interesting. Whatever it is, it's very interesting.
Yep. I mean, sometimes when I'm relaxing, my third eye will open and I'll start seeing images from everywhere. And sometimes it's a playground with children. Sometimes it's a tractor on someone's lawn. And I've asked so many times, why am I seeing this? And it's sort of like just picking up radio waves in a way. You're sort of remote viewing images from around the planet or the universe, as I said, but I'm glad I don't see it in the room because that could be kind of disturbing. When my third eye opens, I know it's in my head and that I don't have to worry about bumping into it, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a good explanation.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to jump around, but there's a lot of things that have gone on, so I'm going to hit you with another one, which is the IRS. When Betty and I when the book came out, for 3 years in a row, we had 3 tax audits. And our accountant was a CPA. He was highly qualified, and he got into shouting matches with the IRS. So the first year it was a little intimidating. Second year it didn't bother me that much. Third year I could care less. So the third year I went and they demanded from me, listen to this, we owned 2 houses at the time. They would not accept my canceled checks for payment of taxes and whatnot, and they would not accept my bank statements for mortgages and savings and all. I had to go to the bank and get signed documents from bank officers. I had to go to the town and get signed statements that my taxes had been paid and what they were and so forth. And this was just plain harassment.
It was, yes.
So when we got in there, they not only took that, but then they told me we need some documents that were more than 7 years old. They had to do with my child support payments.
Oh, my
goodness. And I told them, I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you those because I knew I didn't have to. So they said, well, okay, we can audit your ex-wife. Now, we didn't get along, so I told them, okay, you want to get busy then.
Oh, that's
that took care of that pretty much. I don't think she appreciated it, but not my problem. But yeah, that's how ridiculous it got. They're asking for things that they just plain had no right, And then what irritated them more, when Betty and I did some magazine articles and whatnot,
yes.
I told about it. I gave the names of the agents, and when I went and all, and boy, that really got them irritated. And same with I named officials from the FAA that I had talked to and whatnot. But, the strange thing is, once we stopped doing lectures and all, it was amazing. There was no helicopters. There was no tap on our telephone. Everything got nice and quiet.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is what I find so disconcerting, because when people like you and Betty who are honest come forward and you share your experiences, I believe there should be a level of respect, disclosure, and honesty about all of this. But as you mentioned, where the shadow government or whomever they are involved with the money-making aspect of this technology and whatever else they're up to, who knows? But it just takes precedence over integrity and in treating people like you and Betty with respect. And it's just, I think it's appalling. And I really again admire you both for your fortitude, your courage, your lightheartedness about all of what you've been through, and now that you're coming back out into the public eye, who knows? I mean, I hope that they don't start in again. But, I mean, I can tell you, Bob, that, and I think I did mention to you before, that even when Helene and I started this show, all of a sudden there's a black helicopter above my house. I had never seen anything like this one. Also, it was sleek, it was fast, it was like, and I was just going to get the mail, so I didn't have my cell phone camera with me, and all of a sudden I hear this whoop, 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 whoop with the blades, and I look, and there's this, I mean, the thing was so low, I could see the guy sitting inside. Like, it was just, and then I called Helene. I'm like, Helene, do you have a black helicopter at your house? So here we go, and it just, now, it could have been a coincidence. Maybe they were just touring the area, but I have never seen a helicopter like that. It was so sleek and so fast. And I haven't seen it since.
They don't try to hide it at all. We had stopped at a campground in Florida called Fort Christmas, beautiful place, all in the pines.
Right.
And there's all trees, and then there's a clearing where you park your camper. Well, I pulled in this little helicopter. They call them egg beaters. They're an observation craft that the military use, usually one man. It's like a big bubble, a small helicopter. This guy stops right over the clearing, and he's taking pictures of us. Well, I had my camera, so I get my camera out, and I'm taking pictures of him, taking pictures of us. Now, there's another thing that Betty can tell you better than I about having our pictures taken while in the laundromat in Florida, and in another store while she was buying wallpaper. And you'll get a kick out of this, I'm sure. I'm going to hand it over to Betty.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Okay.
Hi, I'm back.
So you were the focus of photography at the laundromat and buying wallpaper.
Right. Pretty good, huh?
I
well,
guess.
Anyway,
do tell.
What happened? Pardon?
Do tell.
Yeah. What happened was the helicopters came over all the time, and I think they were trying to, find out what was going on, of course. And I went into, in Meriden, into store for wallpaper, and they had these sort of book like pages, so you could select what wallpaper you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But their windows were wide, open. There was nothing that was obstructing the outside from looking in and everything. All of a sudden, a helicopter came over, and I'm looking at the wallpapers, and they're up there right, I could see them. They're looking down at me, as I'm looking at the wallpaper. And what happened was the clerk ran outdoors. He says, oh, they're looking at our store. They're looking at our store. Something's going on. And there wasn't anything going on, but I knew right then and there what it was all about, why they were, why it was happening. What I wanted to find out, I know that Helene has a strong psychic energy, and I know you do, Patricia, too, and I've have it somewhat as well. But what I was wondering if Helene, if she would mind telling me if she's feeling anything, because I have had over, I have to say, at least 25 psychics contacting me saying something really big and fabulous is about to happen, that it's blowing their minds, that they keep on seeing all of these things going on, and of course they want me to, hire them or whatever, which I haven't. But I'm wondering if Helene can tell me why all of a sudden within the last month or two that I've received over 25 different psychics wanting to do, help me in some way. Is she there?
Let me focus on that for a moment, Betty. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
let me focus on that for a moment. The only thing I'm picking up right now is that, so you haven't really had any alien contact for a while now?
Not that I know of, just that last one.
It's all right, it's coming back.
Oh, no.
I don't know exactly when this is, but it is coming back full circle to you. And the way I'm getting this is that you have the choice. It's really a choice. Mm-hmm. But it's about being back in the limelight again, about having attention focused on you again, and these psychics are picking up on this energy very strongly because they want to be associated with you, Betty.
Mhm. I know that this one there, as I said, there's about 25. Anthony Carr is one of them. Now, I just get so much mail from him, and he's saying that it's exploding, all the different things, and there's something about a sun sigil. Do you know what that is? A sun sigil with, and I've got 5 enrichments coming from it.
Well, the Vesica Pisces portal has opened to humanity, and so through that Vesica Pisces portal, there's a very strong Christed energy coming through that, which, he's circling the planet anyway. Mm-hmm. But this is all connected to you, Betty. This is what people are picking up on. And I believe that you will be receiving further contacts in the near future. And so because other psychics are picking up or getting messages about this in regards to you very strongly.
Yeah,
they
strong.
And they also want to be associated with you.
Mm-hmm. They said it's amazing. Everything, it's like exploding in their mind. They keep on seeing, and they have to help me, and I'm wondering what in the world is going on with so many that are contacting me,
Well, one of the things that the Christed energy is circling the planet, and many mediums connect with the energy of Jesus. And so you have not spoken to him directly the way I'm getting, but he's about to step forward to you and give you information.
Oh, wonderful.
He's present right now. I don't know if you can feel the energy that's coming through right now, but he's present right now.
I feel something over me. I really do.
He's just beaming energy straight to you, Betty. I believe, standing right over you. And that's why you feel
That's exactly what they've been saying, that it is just beaming right to me, and it's going to be so fabulous and big, and, it's just that so many of them in a short period of time.
Yeah, you're in a perfect position to give messages to humanity, okay? And this is the information I'm getting right now for you, and the energy of Jesus is around us right now, which is what you're feeling.
Praise God.
Whether you'll be getting this information in actual astral experiences with him in your sleep, or if he'll be coming into your mind and you'll sort of be able to have this clear connection with this information. Okay, does that
It really feels so true, because all the other messages are saying the similar thing, and that that prophetic dream I've had just recently to show me that I'm going to have to get out there. The thing is, I was not tired when I was doing that work with the Lord. It was all night long until I woke up in the morning, and I felt very refreshed. So evidently, whatever I'm supposed to be doing, I'll feel comfortable at it. I think, and especially with so many psychics telling me that it's just powerful what's going to happen.
It sounds like it's all good,
Yes,
so
yes.
That's great.
As you know, Patricia, I also receive some psychic energy as well.
You absolutely do. I think you're also one of the most intuitive people that I know, and that's why I'm going to recommend again to people to reach out and purchase your 3 booklets, which are your own writings about so many different things, and these will be listed in the newsletter for next week. So if you would like to get information on these booklets that have been written by Betty, then go to our website, supernaturalgirls.com, and subscribe to the newsletter, because all of the information for purchase will be in that newsletter, which will come out this Friday.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And everybody should also pick up some copies of these books that have been written about you and Bob and your experiences.
Right, and they might be able to go to the library if there are books that are not out there for sale. Well, then the library may carry one, and they'd be able to see the 5 different books that the information is in.
Yes,
and there's
exactly.
a wealth of information there, because It's been a long time.
It has been a long time, but they're great books, and I highly recommend them. I've read every one of them, and they're very well written. And, of course, again, Betty's drawings are in there, which are extraordinary. Betty's an amazing artist, and everybody that's reading these books will get a real clear visual of her experiences and Bob's experiences and what has happened and gone on after all these years. And it sounds like you guys are about to embark on a whole new adventure.
Evidently, I would like to say Ray Fowler did a wonderful job in researching and writing the information down. He really stuck with it and printed what it was.
He really did. I agree with you completely. Ray's a great author.
I mean, he could have felt a little bit troubled over a lot of the things that occurred and happened, but he realized I was telling him the truth, and he wanted that information out, evidently. So he did a wonderful job with the books.
He did. He absolutely did. Well, I just don't want to stop talking to you both. Can we just do another hour, Helene? What do you think?
Oh.
Well, I don't think Blog Talk is going to go with that right now. No. No.
There's just so many. You have been wonderful. Thank you so very much for having us on your program.
You guys are the best. I mean, we've talked about so much. We've covered so much ground, even in this 2 hours we've had together. I mean, we've talked about your initial experience in abduction with your family, and then moved into the government stuff, and then all into Men in Black and energy balls, and also what's coming up for you both. Because I'm sure too, Betty, that I know that the psychics and mediums have been reaching out to you, but I know that whatever you're going to be going through, so will Bob. So
yes, he will, all the way.
So you're both going to have yet another exciting adventure, and
evidently.
Oh my goodness! This is you heard it here first, folks, on Supernatural Girls, that this is coming. So you heard it here.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Patricia, she is so wonderful, Helene. We used to be able to go out together, and do things and camp out and everything. She's just a wonderful person.
You're too nice, and I have to tell everybody, my story about Betty. Betty looks like Elizabeth Taylor. These photos don't do
I maybe look like.
No, you still look better than Elizabeth Taylor looked at her age, but that's what Betty looks like. And these photographs, like I say, they just don't do you justice, Betty. You're absolutely gorgeous, inside and out.
Well, thank you, but that's because you love me as I love you, and that's why. 76 years old, you change an awful lot, believe me.
Well, if I can aspire to look like you, then at 76, I'll be one
Patricia,
camper.
You are a beautiful person. You are an absolutely beautiful person. Don't you agree with me, Helene?
I am so blessed to count Patricia as a friend,
and
she is gorgeous inside and out as well. So.
Yes,
thanks. We're all gorgeous inside and out. I mean, this is, again, thank you so much, all of, for you and Bob being on our show. It's just been so exciting to, again, relive these experiences through listening to both of you. And what you're both so good at, I have to comment on, is that you present so logically. You present step by step, this is what happened. So we as hosts, and I know the audience, can follow you so easily through this very odd journey. And it takes that kind of mind to be able to present this to people in such a format that people can understand this. And that's why I think you've really reached so many people, both you and Bob, all these years, and you will go on to reach so many more now.
Well, I do hope that people would be able to go to the library or be able to get one of the books so that they can go through it and see exactly. There is so much that happened that you really have to sit down and read all the information. For me to give you bits and pieces, it's like, it's not enough to really see what had happened. Ray Fowler, as I said, did a wonderful job in putting it all together of what happened. So if you could go to the library or find a book to purchase it, I think you'd be happy about it.
Absolutely true. And I know some of them are still available on Amazon.com, so people can look for them there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
thank
right.
you. It's been a wonderful night, and we appreciate your time.
I probably seemed a little shy because this is unusual for me after 14 or 15 years away from doing anything like this. I have to admit, I was a little nervous because, it's been a long time since I've had to talk about myself. And that bothers me sometimes. I'd rather have people read about it rather than me talk about it.
Well, you did an awesome job, Betty, and now we're going to say good night because Blog Talk's about to close us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They will shut us
Thank
down.
You, Betty.
Okay. God bless you both.
Well, bless you both.
You
and
too,
again,
Betty.
thank you, both of you, Betty and Bob, and we hope that you'll come back and share more of your wonderful experiences with us.
What a night, Patricia, huh?
Oh, my goodness me. This has been such an exciting show. I'm not going to be able to sleep. You know that, right? I'll be thinking about everything all night long. This has been great. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next for them. I mean, what you're saying.
No. Well, we'll have them on again. But right now, we'd like people to sign up at supernaturalgirls.com. That's girls with a Z. And they can get our newsletter next week and get the information on how to order Betty and Bob's booklets about all their experiences. Also, I want to remind people of their 20% discount for reading or energy work at angelslighthouse.com. All you have to do is mention the Supernatural Girls show, and I will discount you 20% on any reading or session that you'd like. The last thing is that we're having that free energy alignment circle on Monday evening. That's Monday, April 15th, and it's at 9 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is call in from your phone, so go on over to angelslighthouse.com. The instructions are right on the home page. Patricia, do you have information about our guest next week?
Oh, my goodness. We got the wild man coming next week. The wild man Rick that we love. We love this man.
We love him.
We love Rick, and he's coming back, How to Survive the Apocalypse. So
wow.
We are going to have another great evening with him, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, it's time to say good night, Patricia.
Well, good night, Helene. Thank you so much, and pleasant dreams.
Thank you. You too, Patricia. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with